Whoa. What is up, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Universe Mode. And as you can see, it is the draft. And over the next several episodes, we will continue to go within that draft as we are going to see superstars mixed in from WWE, AEW, Impact, NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance, and New Japan. Every country, every company, every wrestler that you could think of will be here applying their craft because they are all scheduled to be in our draft.
From Pensacola, Florida, weighing in at 265 pounds, the WWE Universal Champion, Roman Reigns.
And for this draft, there will be 6 rounds. In those 6 rounds, it'll be a snake one. Pretty much just snake draft, and that's how we will go. The results will all be published onto a Google Sheets a link that I will put once we are all done with the drafts. But over these episodes that we will have of Monday Night Raw, of NXT, NXT UK, of SmackDown, Dynamite, Rampage, NWA Power, NWA USA, Impact Wrestling, over all these shows here, even the return of ECW Television and WCW Monday Nitro, these companies will all go around picking their picks, making their company, their mold, their way. Tonight, we're going to start off this new universe mode, this new style of it all, with 3 of the biggest superstars from the past universe mode for us here. And again, these guys don't belong to anyone right now. The draft is open. The GMs, the owners of each company are making their picks. And we will hear about those picks at the end of this matchup. And a big 3 picks. I think these are 3 of the biggest picks you can possibly take from the WWE side, but there are as well. Anybody that works for any of these companies is free. And the way I'm going to just tell you right now at the beginning of this match, I will break down to you the pecking order. Who's got the first pick, who's got the 6th pick, who's got all these picks, who's got all the picks in every order. And remember, it's a snake one, so that means if you start off, it's great. You get the number 1 pick in the draft. You get the best pick. You get to pick the best wrestler. But then you got to wait again until number 12 to pick again. And then you get to pick again at 13. So WWE will be, I'm gonna break the spoilers here. Number 1 pick goes to WWE. So they all have the number 1 pick. So this one will be big. Who does the World Wrestling Entertainment take at number 1? We'll find out after this match. We could be very well in the presence of the number 1 pick here. We could be witnessing the number 1 pick in this matchup. He could be in this. It could be Kevin Owens for all we know. It could be Roman. It could be AJ. Or it could be anybody else. This one features Bryan Danielson, Kenny Omega, Finn Balor, the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, The Miz, anybody where you could think of. The Guerrillas of Destiny, Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, the Briscoe brothers, anybody you can think of is in this draft here, and we're going to start off right now. I'm about to now announce who the 2nd pick goes to. The 2nd pick will be going to Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling will take the 2nd pick of the draft, and that's huge for them because they're going to have to make that one count, as these guys in the first couple rounds are going to set the tone of who are going to be the figureheads of each promotion as this match goes through here. Thank you guys for joining us in the first episode of this new universe mode. Again, we're going to be running essentially about 8 companies. Let's go with that. 8 companies. We're going to be running a WWE show, 2 WWE shows, 2 AEW shows, an NXT show, an NXT UK show, 2 NWA shows, an ECW show, a WCW show, and 1 Impact show. We're going to be running those shows here on Universe Mode, and we're going to do one episode of all, because each episode will feature draft results and where they're all going. This is going to be about, I've done the draft results here, about 50 rounds. This is going to be 50 rounds of drafts being chosen, of people being chosen to go to certain companies. And the one crazy thing about it, though, is ECW and WCW will have to share picks and share the way they do their draft until a certain point. I believe is until round, until round 36, 35, 36. Around that round, ECW and WCW will finally be able to select different picks. The same with NXT and NXT UK. Again, so many names are on this list. There's so much talent that can be moved around. Tag teams will count together, so if you do draft a tag team, they will come together for you, as well as giant stables like the Dark Order. That's one that will count in. That's one giant pick right there. So you have to maneuver the way you're going to do your picks. Again, you want to obviously pick the best of the best. You want to pick the guys who are your world champions. But again, every single title, except for some reason Brock Lesnar's Universal Championship. Okay, the main reason is because I'm too afraid to go up to Brock Lesnar and tell him, "Can I have your title? You're no longer Universal Champion." Because you go out there, you go ahead, be the brave man to tell Brock Lesnar he can't be the Universal Championship. I dare you, I triple down dare you. Go ahead, and then he'll butcher you alive, and then you'll be beat, and you'll be fed to the deers. I'm not looking to be food for deers, okay? But either way, so there will be new champions in every company. Every company will have their own way of settling their new champion, their new face of their promotion, and that's going to be the exciting part to see within the first weeks of the new splits of this Universe Mode. I'm very excited about it. And then now I'm going to be able to announce who's got the third pick in the draft. It's going to be ECW, WCW, and you got to wonder who they will choose. AJ Styles is doing a lot of taunting. Don't know if a company would want to take a guy like AJ Styles for doing all this taunting. But again, in the draft, you have to pick about who's the biggest star power for you, but who's not too old, who's the right mage. There's so many factors to picking at number one. Yet the obvious pick would probably be take AJ at number 1, take AJ at number 2, 3. But again, AJ's a little bit higher up, and the man, no disrespect to his age, because the man is still phenomenal. He does things at his age that I can never even do at my prime of my age. But AJ Styles jumping to Roman like that. I love it. But again, you have to think as the owner of the company, and as the general managers and as people who will be running the shows weekly, what talent do you bring? Who do you want? There's so much talent that there's no going wrong with who you select. Just don't take names that can be overrated or not at the right spot. And a brainbuster by AJ onto Kevin Owens. And then the number 4 pick, I'm getting this right now, will go to All Elite Wrestling, as they will select number 4. They will be running their Rampage and Dynamite shows in this Universe Mode, so we'll be getting that here from AEW. Can't wait to see if who's available at that point for them. If they go for the former world champion Adam Hangman Page, or if they go for the man who is essentially their face, which is Kenny Omega, or if they go for CM Punk. You see, that's the thing about AEW. Where do they go? And this is a big chance for companies like Impact Wrestling and NWA to scoop somebody up, a big time name like that, and put them on their side. And then now I'm able to say number 5. Number 5 will go to NXT/NXT UK. And a kick out there by Roman. AJ thought he had this matchup. AJ might be looking to end Roman Reigns' night tonight. And this is going to be Roman with a save right there. I'm going to announce number 6. Obviously, it's pretty obvious now since it's WWE number 1. Number 2 is Impact. ECW, WCW is number 3. AEW is number 4. NXT UK is number 5. And number 6 will be NWA. And that's a great pick. That's a great spot to be. Yeah, it's last in the first round, but it's a great spot because now you get 6 and 7. And then you'll have to wait again, but it's still a great spot because 6 and 7 are going to be 2 valuable picks right there. 2 big, huge picks, and I can't wait to see what falls to NWA's laps there. And that's going to be an interesting thing. But again, now I'm pretty sure the owners are coming to conclusions on who they want now. Who's their number 1 pick and who's it going to be. Remember, you only got like a couple seconds after the first pick is announced to make your selection. So you have, I'm sure in the rooms, you have, okay, just in case this guy isn't here, if that money gets chosen over him, that's who we're going to take. That's the next pick to it. Let's say WWE let's say Impact's thinking Roman Reigns. Let's think Impact thinks Roman. Let's say Impact thinks Roman as their number 1 pick. Surprise, surprise, WWE selects Roman Reigns at the number. Stunner by Owens. Oh, AJ Styles kicks out. But let's just think about it. Let's think that, yeah, Impact's number 1 pick is Roman, and WWE selects Roman right next at number 1. Now Impact's scrambling to figure out who the next pick is. No, they have that number 2. They have who they're going to want next, and that's going to be the quickness of it. So thinking like really thinking, oh, well, how did they already have this pick? No. It's just like that. They have it set up. They're preparing during these matches. During each match that you're going to get is going to be a round, and then we're going to see who that is selected in that round. I will announce them after the match is done. You know, we can't do 6 different entrances out here because, you know, we don't have that kind of time anymore. We used to have it that kind of time, but right now Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, and Kevin Owens are enjoying the TV spotlight here. It's a great matchup that we are getting here by 3 men who are making a statement here, letting you know, like, this is where we want to go. This is what we're gonna do. And look at AJ, bam, with a big knee right there. Now Owens suplexing the life out of him. It's a huge move for the lives of the WWE superstars, the AEW wrestlers, NWA. It's a huge move for all these guys, but a huge opportunity for a lot of them as well. Now changing companies and now everything gets switched around. This is huge for all of them. You know what I am very interested and intrigued in seeing is the revival of ECW and WCW. And that's a stunner. It's Kevin Owens about to stun the world. Oh, kick out by Roman. I'm interested to see WCW's revival of Monday Nitro, what they will be doing with that world. It will be helmed by Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff will control WCW. ECW will be ran by Paul Heyman. Again, they're getting a chance to do it all over again. WWE will be ran by the vices of, well, the McMahons, obviously. AEW, easy. That's Tony Khan's baby. And then Impact will be Impact, and NWA by Mr. Corgan himself. Then NXT and NXT UK. We'll have to see who will be the powers in charge. A Superman punch just connected with Kevin Owens there. And now Roman's got the guillotine on AJ. And AJ might tap out. AJ's tapping. AJ's out. And Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, is victorious here tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, I am getting the number 1 pick of the draft. WWE has just selected the tribal chief at number 1. Roman Reigns is going to be part of the World Wrestling Entertainment. I was going to say Federation there, but then I realized I was going to go off track there. And now I'm getting number 2 right now. Number 2, Impact Wrestling has gone. It's a very smart pick, a very great pick by Impact, in my opinion. The American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, is now part of Impact Wrestling at their number 1 pick. As the number 1 pick, Danielson will definitely bring that company a lot to offer. That's how you're going to build your company around a man like Danielson. You do it. Now getting ECW and WCW's pick. This man will be headed to ECW. The former Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, is going to ECW. And that's huge. We were all waiting to see where he would go, what his next move would be. And it's the ECW, the land of extreme, that will have Bray Wyatt, the Fiend. And now we're getting... This is a big one. Tony Khan has said it. There's only one way to go with this. It's going to clean up the draft here. This is a huge one. It is the cleaner himself, Kenny Omega. That man, that's again a great pick. There was 3 picks I was expecting from AEW. Either Adam Page, CM Punk, or Kenny. They went with Kenny. Great pick. Again, there's so much to talk about, which we will in the next matchup. You'll hear it as the next match goes through. We'll talk about these results, talk about what it means, because right now I'm getting NXT. This is from the NXT UK side, but this will be NXT's pick. This man is going to NXT, a man who used to be our Universal Champion in the Universe mode here. It is Finn Balor. Balor will be bringing his act, his main Prince self, to NXT again, where it all started for him here in our Universe mode. And this is a new one, but now Balor will lead NXT. And to close out round number 1, this is a shocker. I really thought NWA would surprise us a little bit more crazier here. But NWA is going for a power man. They're going for Bobby Lashley, the almighty one. Not for nothing, that's a great pick. It's a huge pickup. And that's the first round. Roman Reigns to WWE. Impact Wrestling gets Bryan Danielson. ECW gets Bray Wyatt the Fiend. AEW gets Kenny Omega. NXT/NXT UK gets Finn Balor. And NWA gets Bobby Lashley. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We are about to get another matchup here on Monday Night Raw. We will go to round 7 here tonight. We have 7 great matches planned out for you here. We will announce the picks of round number 2 after our next match is over. But we will also discuss what just occurred during the match. It's a great night here. Thank you guys for joining us. We're going to bring you that next match up next. As we are back on Monday Night Raw, draft night yet again. The results are starting to trickle into some of the Universe Road competitors. And we will start with MJF making his way down to the ring. You will see guys from other promotions. You'll see guys and gals from other promotions here on Raw, on NWA Power, on Nitro, on multiple different shows. As these first episodes are all to go to the draft, and the one thing about the draft is your name might be called, but that does not necessarily mean, hey, you're going to show up to that show, or that you'll eventually be there on night 1. There's a lot of plans on the people who are controlling each show. For WWE, it is under the control of Vince McMahon. We will know that WWE will run a Raw and a SmackDown show. They'll be together. The brands will be together. And we will see the WWE Championship, the Women's Championship, the Tag Team Championships for the men's and the women's, the Intercontinental Championship as well. We'll get to know more about these facts when we see Raw next week. As this week, tonight's all about just seeing all the talent that we will see involved in Universe mode. It's a lot of talent, upwards 250 something stars, more than that. And this is a battle I think a lot of people have been wanting to see tonight. We will get to see The Miz against MJF. You gotta wonder where a guy like The Miz is gonna go. The Miz is very confident. The Miz is very confident that WWE will draft him, but the thing is, you only have so many certain number of picks. There's a lot of guys who want to go there. Yeah, The Miz, a definite great addition to the WWE roster if they can get him. A great roster fit for anybody, but the question is, you are out in the open. Miz is not a number 1 pick. No disrespect to him at all. The man is talented, the man is great. But when you got guys like Roman Reigns out there, you got guys like Bryan Danielson, Bray Wyatt, Kenny Omega, Bobby Lashley, guys like that were picked. You know, you gotta wonder. That's, you know, Drew McIntyre's, CM Punk's, John Cena's. That's the range of it. This is quite the pairing here. And we do know that WWE's first pick was spent on the big dog, Roman Reigns, on the head of the table, the man himself, setting it up. The number 1 pick, and that's a smart pick. Roman Reigns is the future. Roman Reigns is what WWE has built up the most to. And right now, probably looking at maybe 2 guys that they want to pick, MJF or The Miz. These are 2 big guys that they can take. But it is a snake tournament, so WWE won't have the next pick until the 12th pick. Right now, they had the first pick. So they picked Roman Reigns with that selection, and definitely two guys that could be headed to WWE here on their side. But again, you're now a guy, maybe AEW's like, okay, you know what, we're not going to let go of MJF that easily. You know, our first pick was Kenny Omega, which is our ace, our guy, our man that we go with, that we need. And now who do you pair up? Who do you put up there to be one of the pillars of AEW? MJF, one of the 4 pillars of AEW. You know, one of the guys that AEW was built around. One of the best heels in the business. One of the best guys to put that young, talented, great on the mic, great in the ring, and definitely a guy that you want your company to have. But AEW is going to have to wait. They're going to be the 3rd pick in the next round. Those results you will get after this matchup. And again, just because you're picked by a company doesn't necessarily mean you have to be there night 1, night 2, or even 30 days after or 60 days after. It's up to you if you want to show up and compete there. That's the rule of it all. And the kick out there by The Miz right there. MJF trying to get the win quick, but it's not happening there. And it's going to be interesting to see where you go from here, what kind of company you decide to build. You know, do you want to go pure wrestling, old school wrestling, pure wrestling, a hybrid version of it? Do you want to do sports entertainment? It's an interesting part, and there's still so many rounds. Right now, the first rounds are always the intriguing ones, always the big names. Where do the big names go? But then after the big names go away, you got the young and up-and-comers. You got the veterans that maybe have fallen off a little bit. That's when you start to build your mid-card. That's when you start to build the next part. Who will the show also be based around? And it's also intriguing to me here that WWE's next pick could be anybody. It could be somebody to build the future. It could be someone that they already have there. You know, John Cena's still out there. Okada's still out there. Ricochet's out there. You got Becky Lynch out there. You got Charlotte Flair. You got Sasha Banks, Bayley. You have a lot of people. And what is this? What is John Morrison doing here? John Morrison, yeah, tag partners with The Miz, definitely has his best interest. These two will probably not be tag partners after the night ends. And look at The Miz trying to get the roll up on MJF. But no, MJF. You gotta wonder, where does The Miz even consider his tag team association with John Morrison? Trying to call in Morrison as a favor here, but MJF is looking to put The Miz down. And The Miz has been dominated tonight by MJF. MJF is about to walk out of here with a win. You know, the next pick does go to NWA, so the next round, second round, will go NWA, NXT/NXT UK, AEW, ECW, WCW, Impact, and WWE. And the one day you're wondering, why does NXT and NXT UK pick together? Well, it's because they're NXT. It's NXT will pick those rosters, so the rosters will be a little bit smaller. But once the later rounds come up, they'll start to get their separate individual picks, and that will be when the interesting part comes in for them. And WCW, ECW, well, two companies that were defunct coming back now, so the funding needs to not be as wild as you would think. But those picks are done by both. For ECW and WCW, they're done by... Oh, look at The Miz coming back. WCW and ECWs are done by Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman for ECW, Bischoff for WCW. And you got to wonder with Paul Heyman now, no longer... I mean, well, he's running ECW. Does he still continue to be the spokesman for the special counsel for Roman Reigns? You gotta put that into consideration out there. It's a lot to do, but we do know that the ECW, WCW pick was Bray Wyatt, The Fiend, Wyndham Rotunda, whatever you want to go with his name. The man is the first pick for them, and that's a great pick. A man that brings so much talent, but the question is he going to ECW, WCW? You know, that's interesting to see where he ends up on those two. But from what I'm hearing from my sources, MJF has just won the match. MJF with the victory. Big win for MJF over The Miz here. Definitely we're opening it. So we're about to get the picks in right now. And I can't wait to announce them as MJF is celebrating his win. I'm about to announce the first pick from the National Wrestling Alliance. The second pick, actually. And we'll join Bobby Lashley. It is the Scottish Terminator. It is Drew McIntyre. McIntyre joining the National Wrestling Alliance with Bobby Lashley. The next pick coming in from NXT UK.
NXT picked Finn Balor for the first pick, but again, Balor could also show up on NXT UK as well. That's the rule they have there. Will Ospreay is going to NXT UK. Definitely, okay, NXT UK looking at the young future, looking at someone who's already well established out there in the world, and that should be interesting to see if Ospreay takes that deal with NXT UK. Next pick I'm getting is from All Elite Wrestling, and it is it's the man, it's the best in the world. CM Punk is All Elite, and he will be going to All Elite with Kenny Omega. Two men who already have been there. Definitely put them together again. Keep two guys that you are very confident with, and this is a big steal right here. This guy is going to the ECW, WCW side of things. He is a crazy motherfucker. He is dangerous. He is unhinged. He is unviolent. He is violent, unscripted. It is Jon Moxley. He is joining. I'm thinking the ECW side's got to just have taken him on that one. Impact Wrestling's got the next pick, and this one's big. This one's a big steal right here. A man that has only been for one company and one company only. This was the diamond that was squeezed. The coal that was squeezed into a diamond. And this is Randy Orton. And Randy Orton will join Impact Wrestling. And he'll join Bryan Danielson. But that's if Randy Orton wants to join. Again, that big thing if they want to join. And now, the last pick of this second round. It goes to WWE. And they'll start off the next pick as well. They have chosen to go with the future. The man upon your screens right now. It is MJF. And he has been chosen to be the second pick for WWE. That's a great pick. We will talk more about this as the night continues. We still got 3 more rounds here to go. So that means 3 more matches on Raw. And then we'll continue the draft on the next episode, which will be the next one, which will be the Nitro episode, the first episode of Nitro that we will get. But, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for watching this part right here. We're going to keep moving on to the next match. And keep watching, because it's the draft. It's always fun. It's always a great time. I think it's a great time. My dogs don't think so, but I think it is. Now this is where I stop.
Introducing first, from Knoxville, Tennessee, Bianca Belair.
All right, as we continue here in our draft, we are now going to round number 3, where names have been taken. Some big names have been taken, but there's still so many big names still left to go. This is just the tip of the iceberg here, as it's Bianca Belair teaming up with Ronda Rousey to take on Bayley and Becky Lynch here on Monday Night Raw. 4 women who are big stars, 4 women who have established themselves as some of the best women's wrestlers in the world. Oh, okay, Ronda, chill, bro, chill. But Ronda's coming in, and this is maybe she's just mad because she hasn't been selected yet. Maybe she wants to get to know where she's going to be working in the next couple months. Ronda Rousey definitely making her way into the ring. We now know that the second round was taken. Drew McIntyre, Will Ospreay, CM Punk, Moxley, Randy Orton, and MJF are off the board now for the second round. And the question now you have to figure to yourself is, who will be the next addition to round number 3? Are the women finally going to be, are they finally going to be featured? Because they haven't been featured at all yet. The tag team division might be featured. What is next? You know, these are definitely women you can put on top of your company and have them carry your company as well. Like there's no buts about that right there. Especially with Bayley. Bayley definitely one of the hardest workers out there, one of the hardest hitting workers out there, someone that puts it all together, and you could definitely run your show around her and have her be the ace of the show. But again, round 3 will be WWE Impact, ECW, WCW, AEW, NXT, NXT UK, and NWA. That is the order being ran backwards from the second round. And again, WWE now has Roman Reigns and MJF, and that's what we're going to talk about right now. We're going to talk about MJF and Roman Reigns now on the same show, the head of the table against the future of the business, if not the president of the business as well. And definitely an interesting way WWE is going with that one. You know, you're going to build your current guy right now, which is Roman Reigns, and the future in Roman and MJF. But does WWE include this woman right here, the man, Becky Lynch, who I'm pretty sure felt like she should have been the number 1 pick in the draft? And I think anyone will put the question out. We'll say the same thing. She could have definitely been the number 1 pick overall.
From Dublin, Ireland, Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch makes her way into the ring. Right now, the tag up with Bayley. They will take on Bianca Belair and Ronda Rousey. Here in the middle of the show tonight, remember 5 matches from Monday Night Raw. That is how we will go forward. Raw will have 5 matches, maybe 6. We'll see how it goes. I'm not sure yet. But now if you're one of the GMs, one of the owners in the back, you got to wonder, is it time to finally take Becky Lynch or Ronda Rousey or Charlotte Flair or any of the other women that are out there? Bianca Belair, Shayna Baszler, Ruby Soho, Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker. And look at the takedown right there, Sasha Banks. Is it finally time to build your women's division and show them who the ace of the women's division will be? But Bianca taking the tag in to Ronda Rousey, as now Bayley has Ronda Rousey here in the ring. And this is a battle, they've gone out before in the ring and they've battled. They've wrestled before against each other. Ronda obviously came out on top just by her star power that was used there, and she was able to figure out a way to beat Bayley. Bayley has ever since then has changed the game and has changed her ways. No longer the same hugging Bayley buddy when she last faced Ronda. Would definitely love to run it back with Ronda and hope that they maybe end up in the same company again and go at it again. And it's a suplex there by Bayley. Bayley rubbing the floor right there with Ronda, and an elbow to the back of Ronda Rousey. You still got big names on the board. You got John Cena out there. That's a big one right there. It's a huge name. Don't you remember that one? You got Seth Rollins out there. You got the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, Austin Theory. There's a lot of names out there, still out there to be selected. And even tag team wise, you have FTR, the Street Profits. You have G.O.D., the Briscoe Brothers, the Lucha Brothers. There's a lot of people out there that need to be drafted, and we'll figure out where that happens as the night continues. And the rollover right there. Bayley is in control, tagging in Becky Lynch, and Becky stepping up now. Becky's telling Bianca Belair, it's you and me, baby. Let's go. Let's see what we got. And again, remember the way this will run with the Universe mode when it comes to pay-per-views. Every brand, every company will have their own pay-per-views. Everybody will be running their own big events, 7 matches. I will let the computers wrestle most of the matches and see where that happens, see where that leads. It'll be a different Universe mode than before. Before I would control both controllers and I would control the Universe mode. But this time we'll see what happens when the computers take over in every new wrestling year or every new game. As long as we've gone through a year, we'll do the draft, but we'll figure it out again. This is just fun, for everybody's fun, so that's what we're going to go with. And once I can figure out how to work my mic correctly, we'll go from there too. And look at the press slams. Look at the power there by Bianca Belair. Belair is saying, I have power. I've got power, people. Y'all put it together, and I got this. We've seen Bianca Belair at the biggest of all stages, WrestleMania. We've seen her handle her business there and get done what needs to be done. Working on the leg right there of Becky Lynch, and now taking the tag into Ronda Rousey. And Ronda's been waiting for this moment for a couple years already, to get a chance to go at it with Becky Lynch again. But the question is, will they be in the same company? Will they be selected? Again, these are two of the bigger high-profile names in women's wrestling. There's a hard possibility that they'll be on the same company, but there is a possibility. I'm just saying, because these are two people that you definitely want to put the star power on for the women's division. Toss it Becky Lynch around like nothing. Again, and we can go to NXT UK's pick, which was NXT UK's pick, which was Will Ospreay. I definitely a pick that could bite NXT UK in the back, depending on if Ospreay decides to show up. If Ospreay decides, hey, maybe I do want to go wrestle for NXT UK and be part of their product and help them show what they can do. That's the big knees right there. She saw what Bianca was thinking there. But that's another question. Again, just because you're drafted doesn't necessarily mean, hey, you have to show up. You could be traded. You could say, no, I'll just sit it out and I'll go wrestle elsewhere. I'll go wrestle anywhere else that isn't one of these big six. But you know, you would want to be in the big six to get the exposure. These big eight here. But you know, it depends on where you want to go. But Ospreay definitely selected by NXT UK. I think that's a big one right there. What can NXT UK build around him? I think that's what he's gonna take a look at. What NXT UK does. What they build around to see if it's worth his time to show up. You know, AEW now has Kenny Omega and CM Punk, two guys that they've had on the roster before. So Tony Khan sticking with guys that he knows and that he wanted to build his wrestling company around. He knew, hey, I got to keep my ace. I have to keep Omega. Omega is going to be that guy that gets me the matches and gets me in for quite a while. CM Punk, definitely the man I wanted to build my company all around in first place. But I had to go with the safe pick of Omega. But Punk and Omega will lead AEW with the headliners of that company, and the question will be who is the next guy they will pick. You know, so it's a big tough one there. ECW apparently got the pick for John Moxley, so now they carry Moxley and Bray Wyatt together. WCW still has not done a pick, then that is an interesting part. I don't know what Paul Heyman did, but he's picked two big picks right there for ECW with Moxley and Bray Wyatt, two men who can know their way around the ring, know their way around the mic, and their characters are top notch. It's going to be interesting to see where ECW goes, or what WCW finally selects. Maybe it's in the third round. Maybe they finally get their first pick. And then Impact Wrestling took the big shocker. I think a lot of people, Randy Orton, you know, a man that said, I'm WWE for life. I'm WWE. I'm going to be WWE. I'm going to be WWE. I'm going to do this for WWE. The question is now, what do you build around in Impact Wrestling for Randy Orton? I think Impact's very happy that they took Bryan Danielson, a pick of a guy who will put those classic matches on for you. On the wrestling side, he will give you that. That's the kind of wrestling you'll build. Randy Orton, on the other hand, is a big name, huge name, a star. Nothing to take away from that. So you got to wonder what is Impact's next move, and we'll see that in the second pick of the next round. We'll see where they go there. And WWE, who will have the first pick in the next round, they went MJF. And I feel like I've discussed this one already. But it's a good start. It's building for the future as well there, too. And NWA with the first pick of the second round went with Drew McIntyre. So they picked Lashley, and then they went McIntyre. Two guys who, big in the WWE, they started building their name outside of the WWE. So we know they can carry themselves out of the WWE very well and do high business. But the National Wrestling Alliance went with Drew and Bobby, so they were like, we need two big names. We need two huge names, two guys that we know that can go at it in the ring as well. We're going to go with Drew and Bobby. Like that's big for us, and that's huge for them. Those are two big picks for the NWA, so how do you follow up with that? Do you try to appease the audience you currently have, or do you start to build a new type of audience, you cultivate a new type of style? I wonder what Billy Corgan is up to there, and look at Becky getting rid of Ronda there as this tag team match continues here. The GMs are ready. I've been told they have the picks in already, and we now know who are going to be the next six people or the next 6 picks. I don't know. It could be tag teams and all that. And it's going to start with the WWE and go from Impact to the WCW pick to AEW to the NXT UK pick and NWA. So that's interesting to see what is going to happen. But here we go. Bayley working on the arm of Ronda Rousey. As Ronda is in trouble here with Bayley. Bayley finally getting it. These women have been competing in this matchup tough and hitting each other hard. They're not giving up. They know that this is a big chance for them to show the rest of the world, like, hey, this is what we got. This is why we are in the first episode of Universe Mode. This is why they put us in these high-profile matches here on Monday Night Raw. And Becky Lynch could be looking to end Ronda Rousey here. Could be giving her a repeat from a WrestleMania when Becky became Becky 2 belts. And Becky, it's got the build-up, and there it is, the disarmer on Ronda Rousey. But would Rousey tap out? Bianca Belair is not even worried. Bianca Belair is still in the corner. Bayley comes from behind, and there's the tap out. And there goes Ronda, tapping to Becky Lynch. Becky still showing dominance over Ronda. And the big win for these two ladies to establish it. Will their names be called up next? Let's get it. Give me the envelopes. Give me the results. WWE's next pick in the 3rd round. It is going to be the man that you cannot see. Mr. Hollywood himself. It is John Cena. John Cena is the next pick for WWE. Joining MJF and Roman Reigns. Not bad at all. Not a bad pick at all for WWE. Smart. Impact Wrestling's got the next one after that. Joining Randy Orton and Bryan Danielson. It is going to get your umbrellas out. It is the Rainmaker. It is Kazuchika Okada. My bad on the butchering of the name, but Okada is bound for the Impact Zone, and this is huge. It's Orton, Okada, and Danielson, the first 3 for Impact Wrestling. Different styles, different ways. They're going everywhere now. And now this is WCW's and ECW's pick, but WCW will claim the rights to this man. He is the one and only Ricochet. WCW going a little different there. I'm okay. This is going to be a different WCW than what we were used to years ago. And next pick is from AEW. All Elite Wrestling says, hey, we haven't forgot about our champion. And this is the man that held the championship last. And these titles will all be reset. It is Hangman Adam Page. And he will be there with CM Punk and Kenny Omega. AEW sticking close to the chest. They're staying with their their people, their talent. That's what they're sticking with here. And NXT UK is next. And this guy, this is the first pairing. This is the first big group. This group will be headed to NXT UK, and this is a smart way to fill out your roster. And they'll be joining possibly Will Ospreay. They will be joining. It is the House of Black. You get Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews. What a selection for NXT UK right there. That's big. That's a big pick right there. That's a good way to put your roster. And telling Ospreay, this is what you'll be competing against. These are 3 gentlemen that you could compete against if you come join NXT UK. And to finish the round, finish off the 3rd round, NWA, who has done some fantastic picks of Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre, said, hey, those are 2 big stars, and we're going to add another star here. A man that's definitely a ring general, a man that is smart within the ring and keeps it the old school style that we love. It is going to be Zack Sabre Jr., and he is going to NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance. We'll add that, and they will kick off round 4. But Bayley and Becky get the win here tonight. You got to wonder, when are we going to see them picked? When are we going to see that? It's got to be coming up soon. There's no way we've gone to round 4 and none of these ladies have been picked. What is going on? But we will continue Monday Night Raw as we go. We have another match right after this one. And here we go with the 6-man Battle Royal.
The following contest is a 6-man Battle Royal. Making his way to the ring, representing RK-Bro from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing in at 250 pounds, the Viper, Randy Orton.
Randy Orton may be thinking for a second, maybe I should head to the back right now and just not even do this. Upset the fact that he has not been drafted to WWE, that he was drafted to Impact Wrestling. Now you gotta wonder, will Riddle follow suit? Will Impact think, hey, maybe we should add Riddle into the whole equation? That way, maybe that way we can bring Randy Orton over to us and appease him and get him to wrestle for Impact Wrestling. But Impact Wrestling added Okada in the last round. And they have Bryan Daniels, and that's definitely a good couple of reasons to come and compete against those two guys. I know Randy has had his history with Bryan Danielson. They've wrestled before in the past. But a guy that he's never wrestled before ever is Okada. And I think that would be an interesting piece to see there. But Randy Orton here tonight in this Battle Royal night to feature 6 men. Some already drafted, some not drafted yet. You got to wonder what round 4 will bring. And Randy Orton here tonight was ready to say, I'm going to be Team WWE. I know you guys are going to pick me, but you picked MJF and you picked John Cena and Roman Reigns. 2 of the 3 do not surprise me. And I thought they were going to pick Randy Orton as maybe the number 3 pick, but they went MJF. But they were going to go Cena Orton, but they went MJF Cena, which was different.
From Colorado Springs, Colorado, weighing in at 273 pounds, the almighty Bobby Lashley.
And a man that was drafted by the National Wrestling Alliance at with a 6 overall, number 6 overall, the first round pick of NWA. It was Bobby Lashley, and definitely a man who was one of those toss-ups that you knew WWE might get him, might not, but WWE might get him until a later stage in the draft. But you knew he wouldn't survive that long in the draft. Yeah, man, maybe he's pushing above the age there, but still phenomenal shape, a phenomenal athlete, someone you can definitely put your company around and have great matches and great bouts. Bobby Lashley is that man, and Lashley is going to be with Drew McIntyre and Zack Sabre Jr. So the National Wrestling Alliance will also pick up next. That's the first pick in the 4th round, goes to the NWA. So we're seeing 2 men who've already been selected. This is the man that has not been selected yet, but would definitely be an asset to wherever he is picked. But I don't think we'll see Mustafa Ali yet picked up yet. Yes, even though he is a great talent to have, there's a lot of names still out there, and you don't want to say, I'm not going to say you don't want to throw him, you don't want to throw him up, you don't want to pick him up yet, because you know you'll be able to pick him up later. Ali will be one of those guys that you fill out your roster, and it'll be a great pick to have, because this man will add a lot to your division, a lot to your company. And the question is, who will pick him up and who will get him? That's the biggest question of them all for Ali. Who is going to take you, man? Who's going to be the guy? Who's going to be the one company that wants you there? If you were if they pick him up in the 4th round, I'm not going to say it's a questionable pick, but it'll be a pick that's going to be said, okay, well, maybe you could have picked him up later. Maybe you missed out on this or that, but unless they have giant plans with Ali. And you know, as this draft keeps going, we're going to see one more match after this one here on Monday Night Raw to close out the this portion of the draft. And the Murder Hawk Monster, a big man
from Houston, Texas, weighing in at 337 pounds, Lance Arthur.
A big man that you cannot go wrong picking. He will be, just like Mustafa Ali, a great addition to the roster. You just know that he will be there in a little bit later on in the draft. Maybe don't pick him up yet, but if you did pick him up, no one would blame you. This is a big guy, very agile, moves differently than other big dudes. This is This is definitely a smart pick to pick him up. But here tonight, he's gonna go up in the ring against guys that he's never been in the ring with Ali, Lashley, and Orton. And Orton looked at him. Orton was like, "You join Impact? Maybe Impact. Hey, let's pick up Archer now." You saw how he looked at him. But the picks are going to be in at the end of the entrances. Is from what I'm told, but I'm told NWA knows for sure their number 4, the next pick, their number 4 pick is going to be undeniable. We saw NXT UK with a very smart pick earlier, and that was picking up 3 men in the form of 1 pick, and you can do that. That's why some tag teams won't be separated if you choose to, but Impact didn't decide to pick up Riddle. They could have picked up Randy Orton and Riddle, but they picked up just Randy Orton, so that's an interesting philosophy of what Impact's thinking. Rey Mysterio, smart pick as well, a great legend that you can add to it, a name value. Still has things to give in that ring. Still is not a bad pick. And tonight, this is just a chance for these wrestlers to come out here, do what they want to do, get the TV time, get themselves in the ring, compete. This is their chance right now tonight, and just that way you see all the names that will be in. There's just so many talented names out there that will be in this draft and selected and chosen and going to different companies or staying with the companies they're currently at. And, oh, okay, well, this is an interesting one. Danhausen has found his way here to this Battle Royal. And this is going to be interesting to see for a different style Danhausen brings and the other men that are in this ring. So we'll see what happens to him in this Battle Royal, but you gotta wonder, when will he be selected? Because he's going to be picked, but you're not picking him up yet. But you add him, it's definitely a great entertainment to have on your company and a great name to have, and fun name to begin with. This Battle Royal again features different style men who've already been drafted and who haven't been drafted yet, but maybe they want to put their name out there and say, this is why you should draft me. Soon, too. Bigger paydays for the men that are drafted in the beginning. For the women that are drafted, yeah, it's bigger paydays. That's one thing for them as well. And Danhausen going up against the Murderhawk Monster. That is an interesting pairing there. Danhausen is chosen. Ray and Bobby Lashley. This could be also the last time you see a lot of these pairings or ever these pairings battle it out against each other in this ring. Yeah, they're all going to be drafted to different companies, and it'll be a long time before you see them again. And Bobby Lashley out there. This is a battle royale. Is it over the top rope? I don't think it is. I think this is just straight out. Let's see who wins this battle royal. Or maybe it's over the top. I don't know. I don't know what I selected the settings to be. Let's just have some fun and talk about the last round. WWE selected John Cena, and that's a smart pick, a safe pick, a great pick. But you didn't select him in the first round because, he's also focused with his acting career. And there goes Lashley over the top rope. But he is not out. He is still in the match. He is still in the match. Oh, he's out. He's out. Oh, I selected over the top rope. Okay, I selected over the top rope. All right, good to know that. Bobby Lashley, the NWA star, short-lived stand. Maybe he just wanted out of this and said, you know what, I don't need to bother here tonight. And there goes the Murderhawk Monster. Okay. But again, John Cena, you didn't pick him number 1 because of the Hollywood career. He won't be there full time, so you have to kind of be smart with those picks. But WWE still selected a very smart pick in John Cena. You'll have him there for the big fights, the big events, the big WrestleManias, the SummerSlams, the Survivor Series, the Royal Rumbles. Good name to have there on your company's books. Impact went with Okada. Okada about to make his way over here to the States. And if Randy Orton says, yeah, you know what, I'll come out to it. Okada Orton, definitely a fight I'm willing to see. And imagine a 60-minute bout between Danielson and Okada. Holy hell, that might be a 10-star rating. I don't know, man. It'll be definitely a different way of life there for Impact. So Impact went smart there. And GTS from Danhausen onto Randy Orton says, yeah, why the hell not? Why not? Ricochet going to WCW, could it start? Maybe that is WCW's path. Maybe they're going to go more of that kind of way, a high-flying way, more of a spot-on-the-spot kind of session, more of a cruiserweight division. They'll have their cruiserweight division. Hopefully, Ricochet is seen as more than just a cruiserweight in WCW. AEW said, hey, we're going to go with the safe pick, the homegrown talent that we loved, and we made him champion. We're going to go with Adam Hangman Page, but Hangman Page is smart. NXT UK again, I thought really won that round. Said, hey, you know what? We're going to use the rule. There's a stable out there. There's a group, the House of Black, 3 talented men in Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, and Brody King. let's add him. Let's put him here. Let's give him a chance in NXT UK, and let's show Will Ospreay, hey, this is what you're going to compete against. A group like this. Can you think you can handle it, or are you just afraid? And then NWA said, hey, we're going to go a little bit of our old school way. And we're going to pick someone who embodies the old NWA way. Hard hitting, in the ring action, a wrestler's wrestler, Zack Sabre Jr. And he'll add, along with Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre, who are two big names. And that's NWA, I think, is really doing well in the draft right now. Not like I'm not saying nobody else is doing, but I think NWA has definitely done better than anyone has expected them to do. And they already know they're #1 pick in the next round. And they'll be followed by, apparently this is NXT will take the pick for the NXT UK. Frog splash by Ali. And NXT will add to Finn Balor, who needs a little bit of a... We got to see what NXT goes with their direction. And then AEW will pick after that. They've done a great job as well with Omega, with Punk, and with Hangman. And then they will be followed by the ECW, WCW pick, which will be WCW's pick. So they went first to ECW, the next to WCW. Very smart, I guess. Very good diplomacy between Heyman and Bischoff, two men who are not very fond of each other. And then Impact will select the next pick, who will join Randy Orton, who will join Bryan Danielson and Okada. And then WWE will finish out round 4 with their pick. And that's definitely an interesting one to see where they will pick there, who will be the guy that they select. And right now the smack's coming as these 4 men are still in it. I think Bobby Lashley just wanted to be out of the ring today. You know what? I'm going to NWA, National Wrestling Alliance. I don't want to give away too much yet to anybody. And Ray going for the 6. He hit the 619, and now Danhausen's in trouble here as Rey Mysterio, another name again that I think could be picked up in the 4th round. Could be. WCW is picking up next. Why not pick up one of their biggest names that they've ever had? They didn't make him into a big name there, but he found his way around. And Danhausen is out. Randy Orton, though, saying, hey, look, any other company that wants to make a trade with Impact, look what I bring to the table. Remember, trades are allowed after the draft is over. We'll see if any company really wants to make any trades. You know, you'll have to be pretty precise with what you want to give them. And trades will be allowed in the season. You'll be able to trade superstars, your draft picks for the next draft. A lot of things will be on the table there. And Mustafa Ali with the DDT. And there it is. Ali's telling Randy, what are you doing, man? What do you think you're doing? Telling Rey Mysterio, Ali wants to win this. Imagine if he's able to win this. Definitely will shut me up about saying maybe you shouldn't pick him this high in the draft. The picks have been in before round 4. And NWA, again, undeniable. Their pick is undeniable. So we'll see what they're very talking a lot of trash right now in the draft, feeling very confident about all their selections. And then after this, we will finish off Monday Night Raw's draft portion. They will finish the draft. And Ali's gone, but he held his own now. Now it's Ray and Orton. And now Rey Mysterio removing Randy Orton. And the master of the 619. The man from San Diego. The man who is the biggest underdog of all time. Rey Mysterio wins this Battle Royal tonight. And we'll see if his name was selected in round number 4. It is time now for the first selection in round 4 by the National Wrestling Alliance. He is the American Nightmare himself, the undeniable Cody Rhodes. Oh, NWA adding Rhodes to Bobby Lashley, McIntyre, and Zack Sabre Jr. That's a good start for them. And this man is going to NXT. He is one of the best talkers, one of the best in WWE right now. You know, he will be going to NXT. His name is Kevin Owens, a place where he perfected the craft even better and made that title mean a lot. He'll be going to NXT and trying to make them the ultimate brand, the best wrestling company in all of wrestling. And up next, from All Elite Wrestling, you cannot forget the EVPs themselves, the men who killed the business. It is the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson. Great pick by AEW, saying, hey, We haven't forgot our tag team division. We know where we're going. We're going with the Young Bucks. And the Elite are reunited again, and they haven't been separated, but they are together in AEW. Omega, Punk, Hangman, and the Young Bucks. And this pick goes to WCW. They said, we're thinking about the future. We added Ricochet. Let's add Mr. McMahon's favorite boy toy, Austin Theory. That is high. I did not expect Austin Theory to go that high, but WCW must see something special in Theory, because Austin Theory has been selected and he will join Ricochet. That's a big one. That's an interesting pick. That's a shocker to me, but we'll talk about it in the next one. As next, Impact Wrestling says, you know what? We saw him compete earlier tonight against MJF. He wasn't successful, but we know he is a company man. He is a workhorse. We are taking The Miz. The Miz is going to Impact Wrestling to follow along with Bryan Danielson, Randy Orton, and Okada. Impact has a set 4 right there that I think is pretty good. Pretty good. And WWE will close out round number 4 with who? This is the name? Okay. It is Seth freaking Rollins. And Rollins is going to WWE. He will stay with this company, be there with Roman, Cena, and MJF. Smart pick as well. A man you know that that's been proven, and a man you know you can rely on. Very smart pick by WWE. A safe one, but I think it's a good pick there by them. We will continue on to the main event tonight, and to close out round number 5. And what I'm hearing is we're gonna get round 5 and 6 after the end of the next match of the main event. We will get round 5 and 6. WWE will start us off, and they will finish us off with round 6. All right, let's get to it. So main event tonight. This is it. It is 2 members of the Bloodline. Will they continue to be members of the Bloodline? That is the main question that we have for these 2 men here.
On the way to the ring, at a combined weight of 479 pounds, Jimmy and Jay, the Usos.
So that's the question for these 2 gentlemen right now is, where does our future go? Where do we head? We weren't picked as the Bloodline. The Bloodline wasn't picked to WWE. Are we going to continue? Are we WWE bound, or what? Where are we going? That is their pick right now to know. There's a lot of people out there that want to know where they're going, but the Usos, they've seen where their cousin Roman went, so they want to know, are we about to get forgotten about, or what's going on here? What's going on, Vince? Are you picking us? Why didn't you pick us together with Roman? Why all this trouble? And this is a triple threat tag team matchup tonight. And a man who's been a free agent as of late. So you gotta wonder what Johnny Wrestling is thinking.
Representing the way from Cleveland, Ohio, weighing in at 199 pounds, Johnny Gargano.
As Johnny Johnny Gargano is here tonight. His tag team partner, who did he select here to be his tag team partner in the special edition of Monday Night Raw, the draft edition? And stay with us, ladies and gentlemen, because we will continue the round 7, round 8, round 9, round 10, round 11, possibly round 12. I don't know. We'll see where we go from there, as we will continue that on Monday Night Nitro, which will follow Monday Night Raw. And we'll see what WCW is going to happen with WCW. We'll see who is at WCW, who is competing over there tonight, and who will be wrestling on Nitro. Oh, he selected his former partner. It's Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa has been selected. As it will be a reunion of DIY to face the Usos, and we will see who the third tag team is.
Weighing in at 201 pounds,
Who will go? Are these two men are destined? They're always destined to fight forever, but are they destined to be again in the same promotion? None of these four men that we've seen have been selected yet for any company yet. And again, these are smart men that you can definitely plug into your company, and they will be very successful, and the fans will definitely have a great time watching these men compete. But the last round, we saw Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, the Young Bucks, Austin Theory, The Miz, and Seth Rollins go. So there's still plenty of names out there that can be selected. You still have some of the best women out there. You have Becky Lynch, you have Ronda Rousey, you have Belair, you have Baszler, you have Bayley, you have Flair, you have Soho, you have Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, Deonna Purrazzo. You have so many names still out there for the women's division to be selected. You have tag teams out there like FTR, the Street Profits, the Briscoe Brothers, the GOD that need to be picked. There's still so many names out there to be picked. That's why we're running a crazy week-long universe mode of just episodes after episodes about the draft, where we will see these matchups like these, because we don't know where we're going to get them again. We don't know where these guys are going to go. As the week goes through, we'll know more names, and we'll know where they'll be competing, but we're going to see most of the names that are going to be in this draft. And again, if you're selected by a company, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be there. Oh, wait a second. It is Damian Priest. Damian Priest, a big name as well. A name that can be quite a sleeper in the draft. Yeah, it says sleeper in the pick, the Archer of Infamy.
49 pounds, Damian Priest.
And the next one's going to be 2 rounds here, and I like that. We're going to get the rounds 5 and 6. WWE will be the first selection. From what I'm being told, is WWE has already put in their selection for round number 5. So is NWA, so is Impact, so is apparently WCW is going to get this one. So WCW is getting 3 in a row for them, which is, I guess, Paul Heyman was like, yeah, I guess that's where we're going to go here, and I'll get the next one. AEW will get a pick as well. NXT will get the next one to join Kevin Owens and Finn Balor. NWA, I guess since it's 2 rounds, like let's close it out here tonight. Let's give each other a pick here. And then NWA will close out round number 5 with their pick, and then they'll start round number 6 with the next pick. So we'll wait to see where they're going. But he will be joined by Edge. These two men have built sort of a partnership, a fondship of hating on the people who built them up, judging others. These guys are judgers. That's right, they're not judges, they're judgers. The judge actually does something productive, I think. Not sure. But here's Edge. And it will be weird to see where Edge is going to be picked. I don't know. Again, Edge is one of those guys that, yes, great resume. Obviously, he's already a Hall of Famer. A man you will be blessed to have in your company. But you don't want to waste that early pick on him yet, because, you know, his time here is lesser than more. And as Reese, maybe he's in his prime. He's in great physical shape, but his prime is gone. And you don't want to waste that pick yet. What you want to do right now is establish your future and get these picks right here. Yeah, I know Punk and Cena have been picked, but those are bigger names. Brock Lesnar's still out there, ladies and gentlemen. He has not been picked yet. This is a tornado tag match, and things are about to get crazy as DIY trying to join the fight here. And the Usos are like, okay, this is going to be different for us. But this is a big way to put your name out there for the tag team scene as well. The Young Bucks were the first tag team selected. This is the main event tonight of Monday Night Raw. Now, you know, NWA, I love the fact that they picked Cody Rhodes. That's a great pick right there. A man who's already been the NWA's World's Champion as well. But a man that definitely would love to carry that championship again, carry that company that was his father was successful in. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, will have to compete against tough competition now, as he now knows Zack Sabre Jr. is in there. Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre are in there. Guys he's competed in the ring with before, but definitely know that, hey, these guys want to be the star. They want to be the highest paid person there, and they want to be the guy that is giving everything there. But Cody Rhodes joining the National Wrestling Alliance. So a great addition, and I think NWA is really smacking it out of the ballpark right now. And then NXT selected Kevin Owens to join Finn Balor. So Owens and Balor, 2 NXT alumni, is going back, and they're going to use all their pride, everything that they've had with NXT before. They've been NXT champion. They've done it before, but this is a new NXT. This is different, and they definitely want to continue that brand and make that brand the greatest in the world. And the Young Bucks will stay with AEW, and they're probably very happy about that. A company they've helped build, and they're going to continue to help build it and keep molding it in the way they want. And they'll be with Kenny Omega, with Best Pal Kenny Omega. They'll have Punk and Hangman there, and there's no way that's bad for the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks are probably very happy with their place right now. And the one that really, I figured that maybe you could pick them up in later rounds, but WCW must see something very special in this kid, in Austin Theory. They must really think that this guy can definitely be our future now. Like, we could build him into be something special now, because he will be joining Ricochet, and that's an interesting pairing. Ricochet and Austin Theory as the first 2 picks for WCW. It's 2 different styles, but 2 very, very talented young men. And then The Miz going to Impact Wrestling. That's Impact Wrestling also doing a very good job. Bryan Danielson to please that crowd. Randy Orton to please that crowd. Okada to go the international route, and The Miz to get that crowd. Impact is doing a great job right now with their wrestlers. They are selecting the right moves. They're picking the right people in Impact Wrestling. And there's the tap out by Priest. And is that it? That's it. Gargano says, hey, we're going to end it here, and we're going to go around. We're going to end the main event like that. I'm okay with it.
Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa.
And DIY has picked up the win over the Usos, over Edge and Priest, and Damian Priest tapped out. And we're about to get round 5 and 6, so let's get the selections going. And I'm being told this is finally establishing the women's division is about to be built up here, so be ready for it. WWE's first woman. Oh, come on. It is Charlotte Flair. She is the first woman selected overall by WWE. Charlotte Flair is finally off the board. Impact Wrestling next, though, says, hey, we'll do you one better. We're going to take the boss, Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks headed to Impact Wrestling. ECW, WCW's pick, it's going to WCW here. They have said, you know what, you guys were both not very great with that. Not amazing with the pick, because we are selecting the man, Becky Lynch. And that's a smart pick there. You will get nothing, no criticism from me. That is great. That is how you started off WCW. You now have Ricochet, Theory, and Becky Lynch. And All Elite Wrestling, you think they're gonna stick to this theme here, they're sticking to it to start their women's division. You're thinking Britt Baker's coming off the board right now. Starts with the B. I see it. The letter says B, but it doesn't say Britt. It says Bayley. Bayley is All Elite. That's the first pick from All Elite. That it's not from their original roster. Big pickup by AEW. Up next, this one's going to NXT to join Balor and Owens. NXT says, hey, we're sticking with someone that we know pretty well. Bianca Belair is going to NXT to help that division, to be the crown jewel of that division. And the National Wrestling Alliance will close out round 6. You're thinking there's still Ronda, there's Ruby, there's Britt, there's Thunder. There's a lot of ladies still be picked out there. They are going with, well, this is an interesting one. Definitely a very underrated pick, but someone who dominated the NXT women's division. Shayna Baszler is going to the National Wrestling Alliance. Round 6 closed out that way. We have the four of the 6 were the 4 horsewomen of professional wrestling. Bianca Belair, which is the future of women's wrestling. Shayna Baszler, very underrated, about to be unleashed in the NWA, and I can't wait to see that. And now NWA will carry on for round 6. Round 6. And the first pick of round 6 is going to be Ruby Soho. Soho and Baszler being the 2 anchors right now to build the women's division. Very smart, very good pick by Billy Corbin there. NXT UK will get the next one. Who will lead the NXT UK women's division? It will be Blair Davenport, the former B. Priestley. Okay, not bad at all. As AEW now says, let's see who will join Bailey. They're giving us the other B with another B, but has it all of DMD. It is Britt Baker. The suspense, I had to go. You already knew what it was. Britt Baker is All Elite, continues to stay with that company, and that's probably going to be something for Britt to wonder why not the number 1 pick. You were going to pick me. And ECW will take this, and they're saying we're going to keep it on. We're going to go with Thunder Rosa, who will no longer be the All Elite Women's World Wrestling Champion. No. She will be going to ECW. Impact Wrestling saying we're going to stay with someone we know very well as well, in Deonna Purrazzo. She is staying with Impact, and that's smart. That's a good pick right there. So she will be with Sasha Banks. That's going to be quite the matchup when those two eventually do collide. And WWE will close out round 6. You got to think they got to put someone to pair with Charlotte Flair. This is going to be Ronda's time. Remember, Ronda Rousey is out there. Just saying, pick Ronda. WWE will get 2 picks up back-to-back, though, so we'll know round 7 when we tune into Nitro. WWE has selected a tag team. A men's tag team. Well, this is interesting. These men belong to All Elite Wrestling before. They were the tag team champions there before the draft was kicked off. It is a boy and his dinosaur, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, will be making their way to WWE. And that is how we will close out round 6 with a boy and his dinosaur coming along to WWE. Wow. We will continue coverage of the draft over in the next episode of Universe Mode. Thank you for watching. If you stuck out all this way, I can't wait for Nitro. Nitro's finally back. It's coming your way.